Alright, so I have to start off this video with a bit of an apology. That apology goes out to November the 11th. See, when I was recording the intro yesterday, I accidentally referred to you as November the 10th, and I know that's your older brother and all, and you don't like it when people get you confused. It happens all the time, and I'm sorry. I really am. I hope you can accept this apology. I'm sorry. But now to the regularly scheduled November the 11th, definitely not November the 10th video. You can't go outside, Leo. You can't go outside. Leo, what are you doing out here? You aren't allowed to be outside, Leo. It's a whole new world. But why are you out here? Let's go. Oh, I know, it's the worst. Hey guys, and welcome to day 10 of NaNoWriMo. I walked to the wrong parking lot for my car. I usually park over here, but I got groceries last night, and it's a shorter walk if I park over here. So, on our way. It's past 5:30 and I'm just now leaving work. This is all bad. Alright, so the plan is try to get home by 6 o'clock, edit the vlog within an hour, and then write for an hour before the US men's national game. Ready, break. Alright, it is 6:20 already, and I'm going to eat, I'm going to edit, I'm going to write, and watch US soccer. It's a busy night, I'm already behind schedule, so let's get into this. I will be back soon. Two things really quickly. One, the US just lost to Mexico in World Cup qualifying, which sucks. And two, I want to apologize because I just finished editing the video from yesterday and I realized that my tone is a little bit similar to what it had been the 2 days before, and that makes me very unhappy. I should be hopeful and I should be excited and I should be happy to be making these vlogs and I should be happy to be a part of the community that I've become a part of. And I apologize for that because if I'm sad, then I might make other people sad, and that's not what this world needs. It needs more happiness, like I said in my election video before results started coming in. Upbeat Aaron is back, and today I wanted to talk about why I am a writer, and this isn't something that's just for me personally. I think it can be applicable to a lot of other people's lives. So we're going to need to rewind again just a little bit, and I'm going to give a little bit of a life story here, so buckle in. So 19-year-old Aaron had decided that he was into telling stories again after not being into telling stories for a while. I was shown a movie. I lived part-time in the back of a funeral home with a bunch of my friends in Cedarville, Ohio, and one of them was very into movies. My family wasn't super into movies when I was a kid. We didn't go to them very often, and I didn't really get to see a lot of them. So when my world was expanded in that regard, it was like an awakening. So the movie that I saw at this point in my life is named OLDBOY. To this day, it's still my favorite film. You can look at it down below. I will put a link to it there. It's a Korean movie, and if you like Quentin Tarantino or revenge movies or good action, good fight scenes, good plot, it's an amazing movie. You should check it out. Cinematography is off the charts. It's a beautifully shot movie. This was the movie that changed my life, and it also changed the way I thought about myself. That was the movie that changed my life. It was after I saw that movie that I decided that I wanted to tell stories, that I wanted to be a screenwriter, that I wanted to be able to move people in the same way that this movie moved me. It's a powerful thing. Words have power. So at the time of seeing this movie, I didn't have very much money at all. I had dusted off the library card, like I said yesterday, and I went to go try to find books about writing. And they had many there, but they didn't have the one I wanted. So 19-year-old Aaron, barely being able to afford rent, made a very irresponsible decision, and I bought a book. And I bought a book for $25. It was Syd Field's Screenplay. And I'll link that down below as well. And this book was the Bible on screenwriting. It was the thing that everybody told you to read first. And I bought it because I wanted to change my life. I wanted to get back to something that I hadn't done since middle school that really gave me a lot of hope and purpose in life in a way that I felt I could do it by writing movies, by telling stories through a visual script. It was about 6 months after I bought this book, and I picked up other books too. Another book by Syd Field, Save the Cat. Any of the, if you Google Screenwriting 101, or if you start to get in the screenwriting community, they're going to be the first books that you see pop up that people recommend. And then also the first books that pop up that people say, don't listen to these books because they're so basic, which is a big problem in the writing world when you're trying to learn how to write and you're not going to school for it. But that's another topic for another day. And I got these books and I dove in and I just started writing. And it was this beautiful era in my life where I would just throw words on a page and I didn't care. My internet editor hadn't been born yet because I was just so into writing that I just threw words out there. I pushed through and I wrote 2 feature-length screenplays in less than 6 months, and I haven't done that since. They were terrible. They were absolutely awful and like weirdly autobiographical, but like in like this weird like manic, I don't know, obsessive way, and like just they were bad. Just believe me, they were bad. But it was a beautiful time in my career as a writer. But there was one problem. In my mind, I wasn't a writer. In my mind, I wanted to be a writer. I was still taking instruction. I was still trying to learn my way about the craft, and I hadn't made $1 at it yet. So I was a want-to-be writer. And I had that mentality for a while. And then I was working at Target at the time. Like I said, I didn't have the greatest job in the world. And I was working behind the electronics counter, and a guy came up to the counter and we were talking, and he asked me what I did, what I was going to school for, and I wasn't going to school at the time. And I just told him, like, I'm doing this right now and I want to be a writer. And he asked me a question, and this is the most cliche thing in the world, but it is 100% true. He asked me a question. He said, do you write? And I looked this gentleman in the face, and he was older, probably 65 or 70 years old. And I didn't tell many people back then that I wanted to be a writer because I was embarrassed by it to a degree. Like, yeah, you want to be a writer. That means you don't really do anything. You're just going to work at Target for the rest of your life. Or I had this like backwards sense of what it meant to want to be a writer when I was 19 years old. But I told this guy because he seemed kind and we had been talking and laughing, and I felt like I could share it with him. And I told him I want to be a writer, and he asked me, do you write? And I said, yeah. And I wrote a ton. I'll never forget this. Just like your grandpa saying to you, just to give you confidence, he said, if you write, you're a writer. And that flipped that switch in my mind. It's forever kind of ticked it off for me. I'm not someone who wants to be a writer. I am a writer. And I'm a writer because I'm drawn to it. I'm a writer because it gives me a sense of fulfillment when I put words on the page. I'm a writer because I wake up in the middle of the night and I have an idea for a story and I put it in my phone or I write it down because I know that I can't forget it because one day I may have to tell that story. I'm a writer because I put words on the page, and more so, I'm a writer because I can't not put words on the page. There are days when I don't write. There are months when I don't write. But I know until the day that I die, I will have a story in my mind, and I will want to put that on paper. My motivation level isn't always going to be high. My words aren't always going to flow out of me. There will be times where there's a struggle, and I may never get paid to do this. But I will always be a writer. If you can relate to this at all, feel free to throw it down below. I know we all struggle at times to keep up with our words and to keep up with our stories and to keep up with our minds, and daily life can be busy, and we can get drugged down by society saying you aren't what you are until you get paid to do it. Or it's just a hobby. It's just a hobby. No, it's not just a hobby. It's something that I have to do. It's something that I feel compelled to do. So if this sounds like you, proudly put it in your Twitter bio, put it in your Instagram bio, put it in your Facebook bio. You are a writer. You are a writer because you have a story in your heart. You are a writer because you have to put words on the page. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. All right, so that got really deep, and I'm sorry about that. These videos have gotten progressively weirder or deeper or something like that over the past week. I don't know, guys, I'm just in a weird mood. Anyways, I hope Nano is going super swimmingly for you, and as always, if you like this video, hit that like button. This is all I have for today. I did get some words on the page. I'm not going to tell you what my word count is. You can see it on the next video. But I will be trying to write 5,000 words both tomorrow and Sunday. That's my goal for the end of the weekend, is to get 10,000 words. And I'm really going to try. Fingers crossed. If you want to leave words of encouragement for these 10,000 words that I'm going to try to vomit out of me, or if you want to tell your story about how you came to call yourself a writer, or why you think you are trying to be a writer still, or if you want to tell me stories about how you got into writing, how you knew, anything like that, down in the comments below. Feel free to ask questions there or reach out for support, anything at all. I promise I will get back to you. If you really like this video series and you want to see more from me, I'll keep some things going after Nano. I haven't fully figured that out yet. Somebody asked me that the other day. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I will keep you updated on that. But if you want to keep up with these videos, you want to keep up with me, and you want to see more, subscribe is down below. Hit that button. It will tell you when I upload new stuff. Those were a weird hand motion. I feel like I was in a Shakespearean play. I will tell you when I've uploaded more stuff. I was never in theater as a kid, so like, I don't know if that was something people do. All right, if you want to share this video, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, call up your auntie who lives in another state, put your phone on speakerphone, play the video, and hold your phone up to the computer so she can hear it. However you want to do it, I would appreciate it. But like, not the speakerphone thing, because that doesn't count as a view. I'm just saying. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. I will see you again tomorrow. Once again, wish me luck this weekend. Bye.